conversation. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
That was me.
You're fine. I had a conversation with Ruthie Bolton and asked her a little bit about you as a leader. And one thing she shared with me was a moment she remembered where she was struggling a little bit from the floor. And she said, you looked at her and you told her, she said, you said, don't look over at the sideline. I'm your coach on the floor. And she said she ended up, hitting a bunch of shots and you just instilled her with confidence. I was wondering if you've ever coached a point guard that you would feel okay with someone giving them that advice to follow what they're saying and not necessarily looking over at the sideline and focusing on who's on the floor.
I welcome it. I did have a little bit of that with Ty Harris. I mean, she's a cerebral point guard, has a really good feel for the game. And as coaches, well, I'm not going to say all coaches. I prefer to have a point guard that is in control of the game, that has a certain pulse about what's happening out there on the floor, and has really just embraced being a leader, embrace being, being able to make the tough calls out there, and also just having enough friendships and being a really good teammate to be able to say that in those kind of moments, because there are things that are going to happen out there on the floor that a coach can't help you with. They really can't. You don't have time to look over at the bench, and you got to just play. Sue, I feel very comfortable in, Sue just running the show. She looks at the bench like most great point guards. They take a peek at the bench and they know their coach's facial expressions when it's time to just you go do your thing, or if they see something out there that they want to make a play call on either side of the ball.
Next up, we'll go to
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I ask a quick follow-up? Yeah, sorry about that. She also mentioned, and she couldn't remember exactly when this game was, but she said she remembered you guys playing in a game, maybe in Germany, and you were down at halftime to the Russian team. Do you remember that game at all? Said you guys came out in the second half, and I know you've been in a lot of games, and really changed the course of the game. Do you remember that contest?
I don't remember that contest. Ruthie didn't remember it either.
She did.
Wait a minute. We got Caroline Williams. She got great recall. 1998.
Okay.
World Championship gold medal game.
World Championship gold medal game. I did not remember that, but I do remember having those type of conversations with Ruthie. Okay. And obviously she's got to be in a great mindset, because we leaned on her a lot to make space the floor and hit shots, because she was very, very good at it.
Thanks.
Michelle, you're up next.
Yeah, Coach Staley, I want to talk to you just about the way you've learned to compartmentalize. And I think that probably goes all the way back to when you were still playing the WNBA, playing for the national team and coaching. But when you look at all the challenges and different things there are now in coaching on the college side, especially this year with the NIL and everything, you've probably heard there's some big SEC potential news that's going on, and you're doing the Olympics. At what point in your life did you feel like you really got good at that, to be able to, to balance so many things, but also keep your attention on what you had to keep it on, if you will?
Well, I think that happened very early on, and it's really not a me thing. It is when you're able to surround yourself with great people, great minds that only want to do what you want to do, which is to be successful, to win. I think it helps your cause. You really can't do this without a great deal of help. So for me, I allow people to help. I do. I don't try to do everything myself, because that's when you get into a place where it can just come on top of you, and you're either going to try to handle it all, or you're going to shut down. And I just really don't like to be in that space. I'm a pretty good decision maker. I have a really good feel for people and what they can handle, and I got a really good feel what I can handle and what I can't handle. And I've been able to do it because of the people that I've surrounded myself around, and just have great trust that they'll get the job done.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Tyler Bronski.
Hey, Coach. I was just curious when you guys hosted the Belgian Cats in practice the other day, what you guys took away from that?
Belgium is very, very good, very fluid with what they want to run offensively. They are, I mean, it was a great scrimmage because we hadn't scrimmaged in such a long time, and they make you communicate. I mean, we are a team that's been together for, I don't know, a week or so. And, you know, the biggest takeaway is a lot of people are used to doing things their respective team's way, whether that's rotating defensively, whether that's, you know, knowing when somebody's going to be, if you're going to penetrate the kick. We're still establishing those things. And I thought Belgium did a great job at exposing that we're not where we need to be as far as communicating. So they helped us grow and prep in that manner. Whether or not we won't be able to prep for every single thing that we'll see, but we can create the communication lines for us to get through. I told our team today that if we communicate early, you can save your teammate from taking a step or two towards somewhere they don't need to be, and just go directly to where they need to be if we're ever in a compromising situation. And I mean, it holds true for any team, but certainly this type of team in which we are, you know, every day is a great prep day for us.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Cameron Cox.
Hey, Coach, hope everything is going well. My name is Cameron Cox. I'm from Phoenix. I'm looking at a picture here from 2004 with you and DT, and you're hugging Lisa. And I just think it's pretty cool that you and DT have known each other for so long. Just what has that relationship been like? What was it like to play alongside her and then to coach her all these years later?
I mean, anytime that you're on a team that has Diana on it, you're going to win a whole lot of basketball games. You're going to have fun because she's going to make it fun. She's got a great sense of humor about her. But what I really like about Diana, which has never changed, was her approach to practice, her energy in practice, her ability to make everybody better around them. And that's just not teammates. That's coaches, that's the trainer, that's everybody that has a hand in a team. And when you're able to reach beyond your teammates, and it overflows into other areas of what makes an entire team great, you want somebody like Diana on your side.
Thank you.
Takeshi Shibata, you're up next. Takeshi? Takeshi Shibata?
I'm
He's
sorry.
there.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Hello, Coach. How are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. So my question is, today there was a females' first game between Korea and Spain, and Spain beat Korea by just 4 points. It's a two-possession game, and I think it was a very competitive game. So I would like to ask you, what kind of thoughts do you have for this kind of results? That's basically number 3 struggling against number 19 in the world. So what do you think about this outcome?
Well, I think the world is catching up to each other. The world is catching up to all the great teams around the world. I didn't see the game. I did. I know the results of the game. And, you know, nothing in this Olympic Games is going to surprise anybody. Just how competitive the games will be. I think all of us, any team that thinks that they're just going to run through this Olympic game unscathed is setting themselves up, you know, for a big time failure. So I don't even think Spain took them lightly. It's just you're going to have to really play well to get out of pool play, to get into the quarters, to get into the medal rounds. And fortunately for us, we always carry that target on our backs. So we can't take anybody lightly, nor will we?
Okay, thank you so much. ありがとうございました。
Next up, we'll go to Nick Hamilton and then over to Jackie Powell.
Hello, Coach. It's an honor and a pleasure to speak with you. I wanted to ask you just you've coached obviously Asia Wilson on the collegiate level. You've seen her growth in the WNBA, but obviously this is her first time being an Olympian. So what was some of the advice that you had to give her just to prepare to be on that stage at the Olympics representing her country and all that had come, the responsibilities that come with that?
Quite simply, I just told Asia to be Asia. Obviously, she's on this team for a reason, which is, I mean, she can score the basketball, she can defend. I think what has gone against her is just it's her first Olympic Games, and she can't treat it that way. She has to do the things that she's done, that the committee thought was good enough to make the team. There's no second guessing. She has to be the Asia Wilson that she was for South Carolina, for the Aces, you know, for the U19, for the U18, U19 3 times. She's been a pretty special player for all of those organizations, and she must continue to do that for us in this Olympic Games.
And next up, go to Jackie Powell.
Hey, Coach. This is Jackie Powell from Bleacher Report. I'm curious, amid all of the WNBA prospects in the Olympics, including draft picks who might have deferred opportunities to develop, to those who upheld national team commitments instead, and even you've got highly touted college prospects. How do their performances in an event like an Olympics determine WNBA readiness, for front offices that might be watching? I know you have a player on Team Canada in Letitia Amihir. So for her, how important is doing well in an Olympics when it comes to her potential WNBA draft stock?
Well, there's no doubt that Letitia will be in the WNBA. I have no doubt about that. I mean, what she's doing now is increasing her stock. You make an Olympic team, you make the Canadian Olympic team. That's a notch in her belt. Anytime that you're able to play high level basketball like this is only going to help her. I just feel like players who are able to make this, this jump this experience only is going to help them. I know she'll come back, incredibly confident. She left on a great note. She'll continue throughout this Olympic Games, and then when she comes back to us, she'll be that more experienced playing at a high level, so she can bring her experience back to our team and add some of the things that some of our players don't get to experience because they're not here in Tokyo at the Olympic Games.
Thank you very much, Dawn. We will be right up with Diana Taurasi very shortly.